Here. Hey, good Wednesday morning. Hope all are well. Hey, today's going to be a little bit different type chat with you. Tammy and I were in an antique store over the weekend. Little store downtown, friend owns, called uh, Vintage Now Modern. So if you're ever downtown Greenville, go check it out. Some good stuff in there. And while she was in one part of the store, I was in the other part of the store. Happened to see a little box in the back, said baseballs, $3. So that got my attention in a hurry. Always been a baseball fan when I was a kid. Of course, the New York Yankees were my favorite team. Mickey Mantle, right? So that was the attraction there. And then later years, as the Braves came to town, wound up being a fan of the Braves as well. Suffered through about 25 years of losing until 91 when they kind of got back on the winning track, or got on the winning track, I guess. Uh, so anyway, I always have been a baseball fan. Wooden bat over there in the corner beside the guitar you can't see that I've had forever. It's a wood bat, you know how old that is. And always been just a fan of having baseballs around and having one in my hand, especially when I was a kid. There's one back from Major League type baseballs. And then when I worked years ago for a company, we had a leather supplier. They made baseballs. And so here's one little season's greeting thing that I bought just to have around at particular times. And of course, the good old garnet and black one. Now, this one's got some age on it as well, so it's a little faded there to do. So, again, pointing out just baseball's the thing. And so when I saw that box, I cut a trail for it. Uh, wasn't anything in there that really interested me except for one ball. This little guy right here. It's a rubber ball. And so I talked them down on the price on that. And there's a story behind that, and that's where we're going to talk about today. Philippians 4:6 says, pray about everything. So what does that have to do with baseballs? I'm glad you asked. So years ago, kid, probably 11, 12 years old, and in my spare time, me and a ball like this were best friends, and baseball glove, it's out in the car, so I won't drag that out and show that to you. Uh, and so my thing was playing when friends weren't around, just grabbing the ball, going out, throwing it against any kind of concrete or brick wall or the steps, and catching the ball and playing games that way, right? So one day I'm out there playing, throw the ball after fielding it, and then the ball takes off to a sharp angle out through some grass, So little 11, 12-year-old me goes down there, starts looking for it, can't find a thing. I mean, I've walked all over any place it could be. It just wasn't there. And so I was, a little dejected and didn't know what to do. So I went inside, got a glass of water, and sat around and smart enough back then to just ask God to help me. And basically prayed the simplest prayer is you could pray is, God help me find that rubber ball, right? And so went outside and walked back down to where the area was to where the ball should have been. And there sitting up like it was on a tee above the grass was that ball. I'd been in that area, for minutes prior to that, and it just wasn't there. So I, don't know how it got there. Supernaturally got there, which is, again, God doing that for me. And so I've told that story over and over. My friends in Bible fellowship have heard it. Tammy's heard it a million times. And so Saturday when I come walking up to her, she goes, "What do you have?" And I said, "A white rubber ball." And her eyes just got that big. And so anyway, just thought to share that story with you. You may have needs that are much bigger than a lost rubber ball. I'm sure you do. You may have needs that you think are minor and that God wouldn't care. But let me tell you, 55 years ago, God answered my little prayer to help me find a white rubber ball. And so if He'll do that for me, He'll do that for you. So let's just go to Him, tell Him what's on our mind, what's the situation is, and then let's just trust Him to help us. Now, it may take Him a little bit longer than a few minutes in your situation. I've had a lot of prayers that took longer than just a few minutes to answer, but let's just trust Him. So again, Philippians 4:6, pray about everything. Hey, we love you. We're praying for you. We'll see you Friday.